Hey, everybody. I know that Scott and Ian and a bunch of people out there are going crazy about like the Kubicki basses, which is, astonishing, kind of like 80s bass. And it happens that this Kubicki 5 string, it's an old partner of mine. I have had it since I think 2005, something like that. It's This particular bass is a 2004. Um, and yeah, I have had it for quite a long time. I've played it a lot, and since Scott and Ian are going crazy on the 4 string Kubicki basses, I thought that I was just going to talk a little bit about the differences on the Kubicki 5 string. For the record, normally on all the videos that I have done, I never talk. So this is a first. Hopefully it's useful and interesting. So the main thing, obviously, apart from having the five strings, I think that the width at knot, it's about 41 millimeters, which is not that big. It's like probably similar to a P bass, so it's not too bad. It has quite a nice, very playable radius on the fretboard, Indian rosewood. The side dots are, as Scott and Ian and the other guys have shown, like side dots, very big. So the main difference is like, obviously, the 5 string actually has a head, although it's like very narrow. It has a head and it has key tuners, right? Or how do you call it? Like machine tuners. It has 5. And as you can see, the B string has to be wind in this direction. And then the one modification that I had to do with the bass was putting a little bit of a retainer to make sure that there is enough angle. Otherwise, on the A string, it's like hard to not get it to buzz a little bit. And then because it has a head, then the bridge is different. It's not like the bridge that you see in the X Factor, which is the 4 strings. So the bridge is kind of like normal. You push the strings through it, super stable. And this particular bass, I think that the 5 string Factor Key basses normally came with the 9-volt circuit that has like 4 positions on the rotatory switch. This one was apparently later got fitted with the same preamp and rotatory, how do you call it, the rotatory switch that the X Factor 4 has, which is 6 positions, and it has basically standby, active, full on, then it has active, mid-cut, then it has passive, then passive mid-cut, and then passive treble cut. And then you have the 2 humbucker pickups that have some radius matching the fretboard. It's very nice to play, it's very playable. And you have bass boost and treble boost, and then pickup panning, and then volume. In this particular bass, I think that the 5 strings don't have kind of like the 40-piece laminate necks. This is super rigid, but it looks more like one piece of maple. Super strong though, doesn't move at all. And the neck joint is slightly different, I think. But the base shape, the body shape, it's super ergonomic, very comfortable to play. One thing that is worth noticing is that the horn, it's below the 12th fret, right? This happens a lot on the Warwick basses too. And what that means is that when you are playing and you have the strap, actually everything feels a little bit farther. The bass is really playable, so it's not really an issue, but it's very different of the basses that have the horn up until the 12th, which is normally kind of like the Fenders, and most of the basses you have that. So it feels a lot closer. So that feels a little bit longer. It feels like, yeah, like a longer bass, but it's 34 scale. And the tuners are very small, right? So it's more like guitar tuners, and they're quite sensible. There are, 5 of them. The really interesting thing about this bass in particular is that apparently The serial number that was stamped on this bass, it's the serial number for the next 4-string bass, and it was stamped by mistake on the 5-string. So the 5-string, this particular 5-string bass has a 4-string serial number on it, which is really interesting. I confirmed all this with Carla from Philip Kubicki. She's still there working with the company. I'm really itching to get like an X Factor with the kind of like extender on the head and the headless kind of like setup. But yeah, this bass is phenomenal. It's really nice. It has some kind of like grit into it. It's very playable, very dear to me, has been with me for a long time. So yeah, for all of you like bass lovers and bass gear nerds, just wanted to talk a little bit about the differences. Hopefully this is interesting and you like it, and if you end up like buying yourself Kubicki Factor, please share it. Will be great to expand the community. Cheers.